Still think you need a $2,000 camera and a full studio to look professional on YouTube? What if I told you all you really need is your phone, $500, and the right strategy? Because the problem usually isn't gear, it's clarity. If the gear and the tech of it all has been holding you back, this video is for you. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through how to set up a clean client-ready shot, even without a crew, record content that builds trust using just your phone, and create a workflow that makes showing up feel natural. By the end, you know exactly what to use, how to use it, and how to show up like the expert your clients are already looking for. Right now, with inflation and tariffs driving up costs of gear, building a strong personal brand isn't optional because no one is coming to save you. And when the market tightens, people don't buy more. They buy from who they trust the most. The ones who stay visible, they stay booked. I've spent the last 6 years helping clients position themselves through content, but I had to learn the hard way. I wasted money chasing trends, testing too many setups, and bought gear I didn't need before finally finding what actually works. And even now, the most common question I hear is, what gear do I actually need to look professional without blowing my budget? But it's never just about gear. What they're really asking is, will I be taken seriously? Can I really show up confidently without a studio or a fancy camera? And I get it. Friends of mine have bought GoPros thinking that's what I recommend, just to end up frustrated. But if they had asked, I would have told them exactly what I'm about to tell you. You don't need the latest camera or a full studio or a production team. You just need a few key tools and the clarity to use them well. Let's start with what most people stress about first, the camera. And if you're watching this on your phone, you probably already have what you need. That device in your pocket, you likely paid over $1,000 for it. It can shoot in 4K, edit videos, and run your business. So yes, it can create videos that attract high-paying clients. The real problem is that no one ever showed you how to use what you already have. I filmed with $3,000 setups and I filmed with my iPhone. And with the right setup, the difference is smaller than you think. So here's what I recommend. Use the back camera on your phone for the highest quality. If you're filming solo, the front camera is fine. Just make sure you're framed well and that you're in focus. Use a tripod or stabilizer, not a stack of books. Something like a switch pod, a monopod, or even a $25 tabletop tripod makes your setup feel intentional. Now, before we move on, here are 3 things to avoid. 1, shooting too wide or with too much headroom. Keep the camera at eye level and framed close enough to feel personal. 2, using the wrong orientation. So you want to make sure that you use horizontal for YouTube and vertical for Reels or TikTok. Decide on this before you begin shooting. 3, shooting against a blank wall. It flattens your image. Angle into a corner or add depth behind you for a more dynamic shot. These may sound small, but they change how your audience perceives you. Your camera doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be intentional and frictionless. Because the goal here isn't to look like a content creator. It's to deliver your message clearly and build the kind of trust that gets clients reaching out. Your content may be brilliant, but if the sound is bad, people won't stick around. Because while people may forgive grainy visuals or even an awkward frame, bad audio makes your video unwatchable. And the frustrating part, most people don't even realize their audio is the problem. They think their issue is with the message or their delivery or even the algorithm. But the reality is, if your sound feels distant, muffled, or hollow, your viewer, they already checked out. So, how do you know if your audio is helping or hurting your content? Let me walk you through 3 different mic setups so you can actually hear the difference. As I demo each one, listen for 3 things. I want you to listen for, first, clarity. Can you hear me cleanly, or does it sound muddy or teeny? Presence. Does it sound like I'm in the room with you, or am I floating around in the background? And the third one is distraction. Are there echoes, background noise, or sharpness that pulls your focus away from the message? That first mic you heard when I spoke on clarity, that was my RE20. It's what I'm using to record this entire video. It's a broadcast quality dynamic mic. It's great at isolating the sounds directly in front of it. But honestly, it's overkill for most business owners creating their own content. The second mic, when I spoke about presence, was the DJI mic. It's wireless, compact, and easy to set up. Ideal for solo creators. If you're in the market, I'd recommend starting with a variation of this one, the DJI Mic Mini. It comes in 2 versions. The first one is the single transmitter kit, which is selling for about $89, or the dual version for interviews or multi-person setup, which is usually $169. Either way, it's a solid choice that keeps us well within that $500 budget for this whole setup. I've linked both versions in the description below if you want to check them out. And finally, when I spoke on distraction, that was no mic at all, just the built-in mic on my camera. Notice how it instantly feels less trustworthy. That's why audio is the first thing I recommend upgrading. But for some, it's hard to tell just how low of a quality it is when you don't have anything to compare it to. Let's go over a few audio mistakes I see a lot of people make when they're just getting started. 1, not thinking about their space. Even the best mic will struggle in an echoey room. If your voice is bouncing off of bare walls, your sound will come across distant no matter what you're using. Try filming in a smaller space, close to soft surfaces, or even hanging a blanket behind the camera to absorb some of those reflections. 2, clipping the mic in the wrong spot. I see this all the time, especially with the DJI, Rogue, or Hollyland mics. People clip them too far down or directly on a shirt collar, which muffles the sounds and give off a throaty or closed off feeling. You want the mic about 6 to 8 inches from your mouth, center chest. Placement matters just as much as the mic itself. 3, spending too much too soon. You don't need to invest in a pro setup to sound professional. In fact, most business owners creating their own content never need to upgrade because eventually you'll hand that off to a production crew anyway. The goal right now isn't perfection. It's trust, clarity, and consistency. Choose a mic that's reliable, simple, and gets out of the way so you can focus on showing up professionally. If there's one part of your setup that gives you the biggest visual return, it's lighting. Not just because it helps you to look good, but because lighting shapes how people perceive your brand. Your camera can only capture what it sees, and what it sees is defined entirely by how your space is lit. But here's the good news. You don't need a lighting crew or an expensive rig. You just need a single reliable light source and to understand where to place it. If you're filming indoors, I recommend something like the Amaran 100XS with a simple lantern or softbox. It's compact, quiet, color accurate, and powerful enough for most small home offices or studio setups. Place it slightly off to the side of your face, just above eye level. This gives you soft shadows and add depth to your shot. It makes your visuals feel more premium without feeling fake. Too much frontal light can wash you away, flatten your features, and make it feel more like a Zoom call than a brand building video. Now, let's go over a few lighting mistakes I see all the time. 1, leaving on the overhead lights. They create harsh shadows under your eyes and clash with natural lights. 2, sitting too far back from your light source. The closer your light is within reason, the softer and more flattering it becomes. Too far and everything starts to look dull or dim. 3, facing direct sunlight. It sounds like a good idea, but it often overexposes your face and kills depth. Instead, try angling your setup slightly into the light, not straight at it. Your lighting doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be clean, consistent, and support your message, not distract from it. When your visuals reinforce the value of what you're saying, people don't watch, they pay attention. Now, obviously, we're just scratching the surface here. If you want a full lighting breakdown, including how to use 3-point lighting, add subtle color for branding, or even bounce light on a budget, check out my full lighting breakdown. I'll link the video in the description below. Before we wrap, I want to answer a few of the most common questions I get from coaches and service providers. If you're new to video or feeling stuck, this part will be especially helpful. It might even answer something that you've been wondering about too. So first, what if I show up on video and I'm still overlooked? Then you keep showing up. Being overlooked is usually a signal that something in your packaging, messaging, or targeting needs to be refined, not that you're not good enough. You may not be earning the click, speaking to the right people, or maybe your people just aren't ready yet. But that's what strategy is for. This is a skill. And the more strategic your content becomes, the more visible and valuable you'll be. How do I position myself as an expert without feeling like I'm pretending to be one? If you're feeling like an imposter, you're probably not being yourself. Speak on what you know, not on what you think you should know. Use your own stories. Don't fake anything, and just keep showing up. You don't have to prove you're an expert. You just have to stay grounded and deliver with intention. Remember, confidence comes from clarity, and clarity comes from taking action. What if I hate how I sound or look on camera? It's completely normal to cringe at your voice or appearance on camera, especially when you're just starting out. This is a vulnerable process, and there's real bravery in just showing up. If you hate how you look or sound, take a moment to get curious and not critical. Sometimes it's a mindset shift. Other times it's a few simple adjustments. Try improving your lighting, using a better mic, adjusting your posture or framing. Wear something that makes you feel confident. Slow down your delivery. But most of all, keep going. Because when you look back months or years from now, I want you to hear my voice in the back of your head saying, if you ain't cringing, you ain't growing. How do I stay consistent without burning out or posting just for the sake of it? Now, first we have to define consistently. Are we talking about daily, weekly, monthly? That's going to vary for everyone. What matters more than frequency is strategy. Every video you create should serve a purpose that you can clearly identify. That way, you're not just posting, you're building. And if you're struggling with what to post or how to stay consistent, this is the exact problem I'm solving inside of the one-day content system, a framework I'm currently building out that is designed to make consistent, strategic content simple. Post with purpose. That's how you stay consistent without burning out. Where do I even start with video content? There are 3 videos I recommend starting with. First is always going to be your brand story video so that people know who you are. Second is a client journey or testimonial video so that they understand what it is like to work with you. And third, a thought leadership piece so they trust how you think and the value you bring. You can even repackage and recreate these videos over time to build consistency without burning out. These aren't just videos. They're positioning tools, trust builders, and quiet salespeople that work for you. even when you're offline. If you want to break each one down with me step by step, watch this video next. It'll walk you through all three and help you to create content that connects, converts, and compounds. Thank you for spending your time here with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Love.